Don't stay quiet. Do something for yourself.
You are worth more than being somebody's punching bag.
Know your worth. Know what you deserve, and know that you can get help if you need it.
So instead of sitting back and saying, wait, why does she say? What can I do as one person in this community to help that one woman?
Good evening, I'm Wendy Ryan.
And I'm Lisa Campos. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Taking Action Against Domestic Violence. We are coming to you from the campus of USF in St. Petersburg.
Behind us is the University Student Center, and we are all wearing purple tonight to help raise awareness of domestic violence and dating violence. USF Bulls on 3 different college campuses have joined forces with us to help raise awareness about the warning signs of domestic violence.
USF donated the use of its concert halls, auditoriums, and ballrooms in Sarasota, Tampa, and St. Pete. They opened their doors to the entire community, not just the student body and the faculty. All of these folks coming together to experience the Yellow Dress.
It's a one-woman stage play based on a collection of real-life stories of dating abuse. It was written by Deborah Lake Fortson and first produced by Sidney Patton. It's been traveling the country since 1995, thanks to Dina's Education Theater.
ABC Action News received special permission to present the Yellow Dress to the general public for the first time 2 years ago. We worked with Heartland for Children that's based in Bartow. This is the only nonprofit in Florida that's actually licensed to present the Yellow Dress.
This was the scene on October 1st, 2013 at the Straz Center for the Performing Arts. So many of you asked us to bring the play back, and that's what we've done this year.
Our thanks to the president of USF and also the regional chancellors in Sarasota as well as St. Petersburg for helping to make this happen. All of us coming together, joining the movement to expose the warning signs of domestic violence and dating violence. Experts at all levels in the front lines, from law enforcement officers to advocates, say that prevention is really our best hope.
We hear the statistics. More than 28,000 reported cases of domestic violence were reported last year in the Tampa Bay area alone, close to 107,000 statewide. And they are not just numbers. These are women, men, and children, each one with their own individual story that may or may not make the headlines. Jameson Euler and Dia Riley have brought these stories into the light with us for the last 5 years.
We go to Jameson first with the type of domestic violence victim that's often overlooked, the men.
Thanks, Lisette and Wendy. Here on the campus of USF in Tampa, we hosted the Yellow Dress play at the concert hall at the School of Music. And my experience was very different from Lisette's, Wendy's, and Dia's. I watched the stage play with a man who says he was abused by the woman he loved and for years felt like no one would believe him. Tonight, Andrew shares his story, putting a face on that statistic you hear less about. Domestic violence affects 1 in 7 men in this country. Andrew and the people we are profiling in tonight's special were invited to join us at the Yellow Dress events that we hosted in Tampa, Lakeland, Sarasota, and St. Pete. No other guests knew they were there, and no one knew their stories. Think about that for a minute. Really think about it. How many times in your day do you cross paths with a victim and don't even realize it? Experts say it happens more than you know. These victims are young and old, educated, rich, poor, and everything in between. Domestic violence does not discriminate. I'll have more tonight from the University of South Florida in Tampa, but for now we go to Dia Riley in Lakeland.
Thank you, Jameson. I'm coming to you from the campus of Florida Southern College. Like USF, the president of this university and student groups also opened their doors to the community to host the Yellow Dress play. The meeting place here was Branscombe Auditorium. With a seating capacity of approximately 2,000, we saw entire families come out. We started these Yellow Dress performances in Sarasota on October 8th and every night for 4 nights. Later in the show, I'll introduce you to the mother and 4 children who played a very special role during the Yellow Dress performance here in Lakeland.
Take a look at the bottom of your screen right now. That's the statewide domestic violence hotline. The number is 1-800-500-1119. The statewide domestic violence centers are standing by with advocates to help you right now. So if you're a victim of domestic violence, please pick up that phone and call the hotline.
And even if they're not a victim, if you at home or a friend or a relative and you are very worried about someone who may be in an unhealthy situation, please call the hotline. There are trained experts to answer that call, answer your questions. The number again is 1-800-500-1119.
Last year, the hotline received 6,037 calls during the 6 weeks of our Taking Action Against Domestic Violence campaign. And on the night of our special last year, from the moment we started, just over 230 calls came into the hotline.
That statewide domestic violence hotline will be displayed on your screen during the entire broadcast. The number is 1-800-500-1119.
As you heard Jameson ask, how many times do we cross paths with someone who is a victim of domestic violence? Well, it happens so many more times than you might think. In fact, many of these victims suffer in silence, and they are much closer than you could ever imagine.
Jump squat, push up, jump squat, push up.
She boxes with determination, strength, and resilience. Her hardcore teaching style inside this Tampa gym, inspiring.
Right side, let's go. Head, body, head, body.
I noticed Esther's tough exterior 2 years ago.
Your class was basically what started to give me my life back.
There it is. Good. In 2013, she was one of my students in my spinning class.
I started my journey at your class. When I started taking your spin class was when I decided to leave him.
This seemingly strong woman on the outside was battling an epic struggle on the inside, and I had no idea.
There were times where I actually wrote in your class, Wendy, where I was crying the whole damn time.
That physical release after years of pain gave her the healing she needed.
Everything that is in this workout is basically what I utilize to regain my life back after getting out of an abusive relationship.
Esther says her nightmare began after the miscarriage of her baby late in pregnancy. She says the baby's father became her tormentor.
I passed my baby in the bathtub. And I personally think that because my husband never dealt with the loss, with the pain, with the anger, he started becoming very abusive, emotionally, physically, mentally.
Esther believes this abusive behavior destroyed her self-esteem and self-love, obliterating any shred of self-worth.
I remember driving down the street one day and going, everything that he's saying about me is true. I am dumb. I am stupid. I'm not a good mother. You know, I can't even provide for myself. It got to that point where it mentally broke me. And to me, that was the craziest thing because I always took pride in the fact that I was a strong SOB.
The abuse got so intense, Esther says she felt helpless and desperate.
And I locked myself in the bathroom because I didn't want to have the physical encounter with him. And he kept taunting me and kicking the door and pushing the door. And that's when I realized that enough was enough. I have a teenage daughter, that I was showing her that it was okay to be treated that way, that it was okay to be mistreated.
That very day, she got out with the help of a woman in her class who turned out to be her guardian angel.
She paid me with a check. And I told her, I said, I didn't know you were a doctor. And she goes, yeah, I'm a psychologist. Basically, domestic violence is what I specialize in. And I was like, please fix me. And that was the end of it. Not only did she give me free counseling, but from that same group, I found the attorney that decided to take on my case. And she filed an injunction, had him removed from my home. And basically, they gave me my life back. 10, 9, 8.
Esther, the survivor, is a woman on a mission. All those tears and pain she released through exercise, she turned into something good. Trademarked her own fitness workout, now growing in 2 states. And there's more. Esther is now giving back, teaching everyone in her workout to love themselves. And she's sure that some of these women and men arrive with a secret, just like she did back when she was a victim. With her unique brand of sweat and swing, she leads them on a path she's traveled to a healthier body, mind, and soul.
Love you first. Find self-worth in you. A man does not dictate, does not dignify you. A man does not decide your value. So search for that within yourself, because once you find the strength within yourself, you'll be able to get up and get out.
Her parting message to victims of domestic violence: break the cycle of abuse. Take that first step.
There's always a way out. There's always one person that's willing to help you. There is always someone that's willing to give you a hand. Always. You just have to look. Look around you. Talk to people. Don't be scared, because just like those two angels turned around and gave me my life back, there will be angels to give them their life back and get them out of their situation for sure. Don't stay quiet. Do something for yourself. Do something for your children. Do something for your future, and do something for your children's future as well.
Esther says her ex sought counseling after they lost their baby and they separated, and he is now on his own journey healing himself. She and her daughter are also healing without him. Esther's story may have ended very differently if the people she confided in acted indifferently. Maybe they thought it was a family matter or it was none of their business. What would you have done?
And it's a difficult question. You know, you don't always know how to react, but experts all agree that the best thing you can do is to share the statewide domestic violence hotline. The fact is, you don't have to be the expert, but you can help by getting that victim over to the people who are. Share the statewide domestic violence hotline. It's just one number, and it will connect them to the nearest domestic violence center.
And it's 1-800-500-1119. Again, it's at the bottom of your screen. And if you're a victim or you're a family member or a friend, please pick up the phone and call. Advocates are standing by right now.
Why didn't you show up to court?
My anxiety, and I'm just...
You think you're gonna have anxiety now? You haven't even seen anxiety.
An Orlando area judge making national headlines for her treatment of a domestic violence victim in open court. That victim sent to jail for not showing up to testify against her alleged abuser. Next, how this video is traumatizing one local survivor.
Coming up, it's a case of domestic violence that's been making the headlines right here in the Tampa Bay area. You'll hear from the military man who says he is a victim of domestic violence and has the home video to prove it.
This local band says it's time for hip-hop artists to stop writing songs that glorify violent relationships. The band members of The Real Clash are now producing hip-hop that empowers.
The Allstate Foundation Purple Purse represents the center of a woman's financial domain. So everything that really matters to you, the keys to your home, the keys to your car, your cell phone, your wallet, our campaign uses the purse as a symbol to educate people about domestic violence and the financial abuse that usually traps women in violent relationships. Allstate Foundation Purple Purse is really a public awareness and fundraising campaign that's aimed at creating long-term safety and security for domestic violence survivors through financial empowerment. Financial abuse happens in 98% of all cases. Financial abuse is an invisible weapon. So go to purplepurse.com for more information, to make a donation, and to get a charm.
We know domestic violence is difficult to talk about. PurplePurse.com makes it easier. For everything you need to start that conversation, visit purplepurse.com.